Boo boo choo pa 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 ping boo 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 wah wah wah. This is a very special guest, and I'm very nervous about it. Choo choo boo. Hey, it's KJ joining us for this very special edition of the Kind of Nerdy Girls is a guy that I definitely nerded out about as a kid. I mean, Purple Rain, such an iconic movie, and Morris Day, such an important part of that movie, and Morris Day and the Time. Amazing performers with songs like Jungle Love and The Bird, joining the Kind of Nerdy Girls now to talk about a concert he is throwing that you can watch from your couch. And he's got a lot of friends coming along. Morris Day, tell us about Funk Corona.
Yes, absolutely. We got More Stay in the Time, of course. We got Cameo. We got the original Mary Jane girls, Sherry and Maxie. And we got Ready for the World, hosted by Cheryl Underwood of CBS's The Talk.
Oh my goodness! Now let me ask, Morris. You threw out some like really big names there. Are these artists like Cameo and Ready for the World and Mary Jane Girls? Are these artists that you have stayed in contact with over the years? Are these friends who you said, hey, we need to we need to do Funk Corona? Are you in?
Well, it kind of came together, watching TV for myself late one night, and all of this negative news about the coronavirus, and I kind of got agitated, and I jumped up off my couch and I said, "Funk Corona." Of course, I said it a little differently than that.
I think we all have.
And just kind of, then I called my manager, Courtney Benson, and we teamed up with Bruce Soto Event, and we put this together, and we were just thinking that it would be a great thing to tie in some really worthy charities that were doing good work. We teamed up with Direct Release, and they provide essential equipment for the frontline workers, and we teamed up with Von Miller of the Denver Broncos, and he's got a Von Sack COVID charity that feeds hungry children. And we thought, well, these are great causes. So, we put this whole thing together, and, we want to just reach out and bring some good music to people's living rooms, and, feed some kids and help some frontline workers.
I think, Morris, for everybody right now, people who are at home and affected in so many different ways, and knowing that there are a lot of kids who are being affected by this, like you said, just with school shutdowns and not getting their lunches like they're used to. There's so many things happening, and it can be overwhelming to figure out what's your part, how can you help. Bringing the show together, having Funk Corona. I mean, this is something that people can do in their living rooms, have basically a virtual concert party with you and all of these amazing artists, and make a difference as well. I'm so excited to hear that you had your Funk Corona moment and you acted on it.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing. I acted on it.
Yes. Because like I said, I think there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know what to do. And here you are giving us something to come together with all of these amazing artists, and really not only, celebrate. I mean, and you've been through a lot of, you've been around the music business a long time. So you've seen, different things happening throughout our history and how music can have such a positive effect. And are you feeling like, artists are going to start shifting, and that maybe writing and songs that we are hearing are going to reflect these times?
Well, I'm sure. I think it's inevitable that what's going on now is going to be on the brains of a lot of creative people, filmmakers, songwriters, we're going to hear about it for years to come, because this is unprecedented. I never thought that I would experience anything like this in my lifetime, and it's tough. It's tough. It's tough for young people to be stuck at home. I can only think about when I was a teenager, how much I wanted to be out in the streets and hanging with my friends. And, kids can't do that. And, it's just changed the world a lot completely. So, I'm sure it's going to inspire a lot of creative people.
So, Funk Corona is going to be
Yeah.
airing
Yeah.
on Friday, right? July 10th, 9 o'clock. And we've got it, I mean, pretty much everywhere, right? DirecTV, Dish, pay per view live events. We'll put all of the stuff up on our website so that if someone is interested and they want to know where to go, we'll just make it real easy for them to click and join the Funk Corona party. If you don't mind, I have a couple of questions. We've got some really, really big Morris Day and the Time fans who are listening. As a matter of fact, Maddie took her summer trip last year to Paisley Park. She's such a big fan of Prince and everything that you did with him. And she wanted to know if there's any music in the vaults at Paisley Park that you think might come out that we haven't heard before.
There's as much music in the Paisley Park vault as there is dollars in the Bank of America vault.
She also wanted to know if there's any juicy details that you've never really been able to share about the filming of Purple Rain.
Oh, well, if we went in depth, a lot of them get to be a little X-rated. So, but no, there's a lot of there's a lot of stories. I mean, there was so much. I mean, it was an exciting time in our life. It kind of changed, Minneapolis forever. Just and then now we know what's going on negatively in Minneapolis, which is kind of a stain on my town. But it was fun times. It was good times in Minneapolis, and we didn't realize that we were on the verge of doing some historic music and films and things like that. So I'm just glad to have been a part of that whole scene.
Well, and you bring up that whole Minneapolis thing. I'm originally from Wisconsin. I'm here in Indianapolis. Midwest girl my whole life, and it's true. It hurts your heart a little bit to see some of the stories that are coming out from our various cities and states. And so I think what you're doing and reminding people, you know what? We come together. We support our community. We take care of each other. And if that means that we're going to throw a Funk Corona party, then that's what we're going to do.
Yes, that's what it is. We're going to bring it to your living room. And if you feel like jumping up on your coffee table and doing the bird, it's all good.
And one more question from our listeners. Ryan, who is also just a huge fan, said, so excited for an opportunity to see you perform again. What is the song that you are most looking forward to performing on stage for us all on Friday night?
Well, I love all the songs that we perform. I always like to do the bird, just because, for some reason it just has an effect on people. And, just to watch people just kind of, want to get out there and do that dance,
Absolutely.
It's always
I'm doing it right now as we're talking about it, Morris.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, we'll be doing that dance with you on Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute honor to talk with you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Wow, that was so cool. I'm doing the oh dance. And I can't believe I forgot to ask him about Jay and Silent Bob and their tie to that movie. So much that we could have talked about, but so grateful to have even a little bit of time with the iconic Morris Day. Hopefully you've heard this now and you will be watching on Friday night, July 10th. And if not, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that talk. We would appreciate very much if you tell your friends about us, write a review, subscribe. We're still a little baby podcast here, doing our best to make it big, whatever that means in the podcasting world.